and get this rolling. On Tomb for East Coast Feeders versus D-Generation X on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Yes, this is a Division Two matchup between these two teams. I think we streamed. Did we cast D-Generation X before? I forget. Do you remember, Jay?
I believe we did do a D-Generation X game last week at some point.
Oh, yeah, excellent. So good to see these guys go again. See what they have in stores. We are seeing an interesting pick with that Chen pickup by East Coast Feeders, where I'm interested to see how he's going to be able to play that. And then, of course, the response, D-Generation's response to that Chen pickup. It's going to be really, really cool to see that matchup.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Chen works on these altars. That's going to be a lot of fun to see the turn in denial and the abilities there. Let's go ahead and go over the teams real quick. First of all, on the blue side, we have East Coast Feeders. We're going to see Rue playing Raynor, Taihe Tyler playing Chen, Titch playing Sylvanas, Misorski playing Zagara, and Yaka Tayach 22. Boom!
Nicely done.
Playing Karazim. Got him!
In the red trunks, we got Akash on Sonya and Drakab on Raynor, Nidell on Li Ming, Surakiai, oh good lord, on Johanna and Burgerman 11 on that Vala pick.
Yeah, and right away we're gonna see these teams just kind of running around, trying to see if they can catch a pick out somewhere. A little rotation between mid and bot there. But we will see Zagara solo laning in the bot, still solo laning in the top. But we are going to see a 3v4 here in the mid.
We are a little bit of a poke going out here in the mid lane, a little bit of a fight. Sylvanas is going to be down there with Sonya. I'm sorry, I take that back. Sonya is going to be down there with Zagara. Zagara should be able to handle herself down there with that Sonya, but we'll see.
Yeah, one of the biggest lane bullies in the game is Zagara, but we'll have to see. Sonya pretty well equipped to clear out that creep. We'll have to see if she can do that effectively down there. Meanwhile, we are going to see the heavy rotation here from D-Generation X running with that 4-man, really bullying both of these lanes as they rotate up and back. And we'll have to see if they lose very much XP, as we do see Twitch getting rotated on here. I'm a little worried about Sylvanas.
He did a nice job with that. With that nice escape there. Very, very good.
That orb was very close.
Yes, sir, it was. Solid rotation coming in from D-Generation X, moving between that mid and top lane, doing a tremendous job of keeping up with the XP, poking down their opponent, and just harassing East Coast Feeders.
Yeah, and Li Ming just chunking down the health here. A very interesting level 1 talent, opting in for that force armor, where she's going to get extra spell block from each one of those missiles that she hits. So it looks like she might be going missile build, which has been popularized by the player from Gale Force Esports this weekend. I forget his name, but definitely popularized, and I see a lot of people trying that out this weekend.
Right, we usually see the teleport build, the calamity build coming out from her. People really enjoyed that, but you're right. Since this weekend, we are going to see a slight change in builds coming in. Yep, that's right. You're right. On certain characters, and Li Ming is definitely one of them.
And again, just a huge amount of poke coming out here. I feel bad for poor Raynor. He keeps on taking these things straight to the face. He's gonna have to figure out how to stutter stuff a little bit and dodge those. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long game for Rue.
Looks like Chen was taking quite a bit of damage there, but is able to get out. A nice orb coming in from that Li Ming, but Rue able to proc that healing and get healed all the way up.
Yeah, one of the nice things about Raynor is he can take a little bit of damage. He is a little bit tanky, but ultimately we're going to see as this spike damage comes up more and more from Li Ming throughout the match. If she starts getting those kills and those resets rolling, it's going to spell trouble. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we are seeing a pretty even exchange here. Sonya is really holding her own down in this lane.
She is. She's doing a real nice job of pushing that in. A nice little creep spread coming in on the side of Zagara. Just not able to get it pushed out enough before Sonya does her spins for wins on those nodes.
Yeah, we are going to also see Raynor rotate down here to cover Zagara as she was looking to get mana up here. Meanwhile, a little bit of jostling going on up here in the around this top turn-in. So far, pretty even on gems in the turn-in range.
They are. They definitely are. 12 coming in from East Coast, and Degeneration's got 14, so it is pretty even. Taking a look at the XP, again, pretty solid XP from both sides. Not much a winner there, but I guess a slight edge leading over to the East Coast feeders. But it looks like Degeneration S is able to shore that up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far out of Degeneration X. Both of these teams are playing pretty well, but ultimately the rotations are coming in pretty strong from them, and they are dominating the turn-in zone. So at this point, they are really controlling who's turning in and when. But Vala is going to get picked off by Raynor there. Wow.
Yeah, Vala just stood around there on east side, East Coast Feeders side of that node and didn't move fast enough, and Raynor was just able to chunk that down quickly, especially with that that shot. I forgot the name of the shot, Punisher shot or puncturing shot.
Yeah, the penetrating round there.
Penetrating round.
There
you.
It is.
Good Lord.
That's okay. We all do it sometimes. I don't even play Raynor much. I don't know how I remember these things.
And I read it this morning. Raynor is going to go down, getting caught out a little bit in mid lane and mid lane, and we are going to see a still nice rotation coming out of Generation X, solidly moving between both top and bottom, actually top and mid, and able to secure the first fighters.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether or not how exactly they are able to work with these spiders. We are going to see Vala back up in time for these spiders. The depth timer is very, very low at this point in the game. A couple of these lanes pushed out pretty well for Degeneration X. It looks like they're going to opt to split up, soak all the lanes, try and keep their XP advantage, which so far is a very slight advantage. But if they are able to win the race to 10 here, a strategy that's often used on this map is getting that first, making sure to get that first turn in, and then allowing your opponents to turn in their first 50 gems right around the time you hit level 10. And if you win a team fight there, you can actually really negate any advantage they get off of their turn.
Right, we are seeing Degeneration X force the issue on mid lane. However, they stay their welcome there, and East Coast Feeders rotated on them, and Rehgar going down them.
Yeah, Rehgar a little overextended there, but ultimately they are still going to get a lot of XP advantage off of this. They're going to get the front wall on mid, and they're going to get a little bit of damage on bottom, but they're actually not able to get any of the cannons down. We're also going to see him jump in there, is Chen onto Li Ming, get a lot of damage and force her to back here.
Right, so we're looking at the value that they got out of that first round of spiders. Mid lane, cannon, and wall are down. However, looks to be about it. No other cannon or wall, except for the wall in the bottom lane, have been down. So it's just a little bit of a nice value out of those spiders.
Yeah, but ultimately they ended up losing a lot of soak, which is going to really hurt them in the long run here. We are going to see a turn in here by East Coast Feeders, and that could serve as a big advantage as these 10s come around. Especially if they're able to get a pick here. They almost get Vala, but they're going to force Vala to back up and tap well. We'll have to see if they can push in here. As soon as they get 10, it looks like they're going to hit 10 just a little bit earlier. We'll see if they can get an advantage off of that, pushing into Degeneration X's structures here with their own web weavers.
Right, it looks like East Coast Feeders have elected to push that top lane. That's the boss lane, so this is a very advantageous lane to push. And they are going to get 10 before Degeneration X, and I would assume they're going to be looking for some kind of fight.
Yeah, they are going to get 10 here, but it looks like a pretty smart move from Degeneration X here, not committing too much to the top lane defense. Instead, they're going to opt to go ahead and kill the web weaver in mid and send Sonya to deal with Vala in the mid, but we are going to see a team fight here.
We are. Hyperion coming out, Vala's out's coming out. Excuse me. And we are, I thought we're for sure going to see that Joe go down, but I guess not.
Yeah, the perfectly timed Ancestral coming in there to save Johanna. And they are going to end up pushing Degeneration X back here, at least for the moment. But it looks like the Web Weaver might get... Oh, almost caught that fort down. But it is holding on with just a sliver of health.
Sonya is caught out a little bit here. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jay. But Sonya is caught out in the mid lane, trying to do her spins for wins. And she is going to get away. Wow.
so close.
Yes, sir.
We are going to see Barrow coming out. It's going to isolate Vala, and Vala is going to get deleted here in the midst of East Coast Feeders.
Man, that Chen ult is disgusting, man. I get so salty when I see someone using that thing, and if they're not on my team. Oh, I hate that ult. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play that and what Degeneration X is going to do to try to counter that.
Yeah, and we're actually going to see the minions, Winions, come up here in the top lane and be able to knock down the sneezable fourth that was there. But we are also going to see a very nifty second turn in there by East Coast Feeders, able to push the advantage a little bit off of that Wandering Keg Vala kill. And they just back up, they turn in, and they're going to have another set of Web Weavers coming down here.
Sure they are. So they got 2 in a row here. Very, very well rotation and getting those turns before Degeneration X could do something about it. We are starting to see East Coast Feeders taking a little bit more of control of this map away from Degeneration X, who definitely were dominating in the early game, but we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we're also seeing them attempt to take the advantage from Sylvanas and shutting down here, but we are going to see a big rotation in from Degeneration X. The Ancestral not early enough to save Vala, and so far they're going to end up being pushed back from the Hyperion and all the damage coming out from the East Coast Feeders.
Right. Hyperion making a big solid push. The Spider in this bottom lane is about a little bit less than halfway down, so you can get some more push on that, maybe all the way to the wall before it goes down. Possibly, if they stay aggressive enough, East Coast Feeders could push down this wall, but they are looking to elect to go into another lane.
Yeah, well, in mid right now, they're actually getting it pushed in a little bit from this camp that was able to be picked up by Degeneration X while they were fighting in bottom. So a nice fighting in mid. So a nice advantage gained there. But at the same time, in the top lane, while all that fighting was going on in the bottom, the East Coast Feeders Web Weaver did manage to push through that keep front wall. Going to give them a lot of extra XP. They're actually going to be about a 2-level lead at this point. Plus, they are really controlling the vision on these turn-ins. You see all these creep tumors all around these turn-ins. There's no way that Degeneration X is going to be able to sneak a turn in here.
No, it's not, and that's why getting the Zagara first pick was so well planned there, because her vision is so valuable in this particular map. Where vision is actually just the key in this entire match, is knowing exactly where your opponent is and being able to counter them wherever they try to do a turn-in.
Yeah, and we see that Zagara being very dedicated to make sure to lay down those creep tumors all around so they can't be easily cleared out, and just in general that they're going to be up for a while, being able to show where the team is. We also see some really good goaltending. We see constant rotations here. They're not pushing out too far into any lane. Very, very smart play coming out from East Coast Feeders thus far.
Right, if you take a look at the coins, Degeneration X is sitting on 103 coins, being denied any kind of turn-in to spawn a next level of spiders, but it looks like Reiner is going to go down, along with, the Maw does come out and save them. Wow.
A huge counter Maw to follow up the Wailing Arrow there from Sylvanas. The Wandering Keg is going to push Rhaegar way out of position, but no follow-up there. We are going to see Sonya diving very deep in here on Zagara. Kharazim is going to be able to save her for now, but we are going to see a re-engagement in the mid as Chen and Sylvanas are trying to get something going here. This could be the opportunity for them to turn in, but right now Chen and Kharazim are going to get down here and interrupt it yet again.
Right, nice little interrupt there, making sure they come back and initiate back into mid lane to make sure they can deny Degeneration X a turn-in.
Yeah, we got the first National Bank of Johanna here. She is carrying 41 of these gems, which is kind of what you want in a way, but then when you have them all on your tank like that, you don't really have anybody to zone for you when you're trying to secure these turn-ins, but Sonya will get the turn-in to put in 41 of those gems. Rhaegar trying to get it, but yet again, this is sniffed out due to the creep tumors on the top turn-in.
Right, and we are going to see East Coast Feeders do a little bit of follow the leader here in denying Degeneration X their turn-in, and Degeneration X electing to go back and try to regroup and flank around and try to get a turn-in.
Yeah, and both teams right now actually holding on to enough gems to be able to turn in, so we'll have to see if a fight breaks out here. Again, pretty smart from East Coast Feeders. At this point, they're just trying to soak the lanes. They're just trying to stall this out. They're not trying to hard commit to a fight because they realize if they can hold on to it for just half a level. But we do see, actually, the Degeneration X sneaking in that turn-in the bottom.
They are, and I'm going to have to call them out, but Chen Sylvanas had an opportunity to stop that turn-in, but elected to grab some more poke on, I believe it was Vala, I believe it was, and they were able to get that turn in there. A little bit of a misplay right there.
Either way, though, we'll have to see what kind of advantage they can really gain off of this. Right off the bat, these Web Weavers are pushed back pretty far due to how far the lanes were pushed out. So East Coast Feeders are going to be able to clear this in the mid pretty quickly, and they're going to be able to elect to go to either top or bottom, as both of these lanes are pushed so far out. Neither fort is really in any kind of immediate danger here.
It looks like top lane is going to be the area where Degeneration X is going to provide pressure, while East Coast Feeders are trying to deal with a Web Weaver in bottom, and then you got a long way to come up, possibly getting this keep down. But let's see what kind of team fight is going to break out
But
here
they do pick up.
Degeneration X.
They do pick up their 16 talents here, which means they are going to be ready for a fight. At long last, they stalled it out long enough for them to be able to soak to it. Now they have the talent advantage. They're going to end up backdooring, and this could be a very ugly moment for Degeneration X here. We will see all the ults coming out, but right away, Vala is going to be taken down. Johanna's going to follow her. It looks like they might get the return kill on Zagara, and they will, but meanwhile, we do see Li Ming go down, and this is going to be a full team wipe, a 1-for-4 exchange, a 1-for-5 exchange in favor of the East Coast Feeders, giving them the opportunity to maybe clear out this top Web Weaver very quickly, and then the boss is going to spawn. They should be able to take this pretty easily if they decide to go up to it.
Absolutely, the boss should be the next objective they're going to go for. Even though the death timers are not that bad as of yet, however, being down for 30 seconds, especially when the Weaver was in top lane where the boss is, yes, they will be able to do nothing to counter this.
Yeah, we are also going to see Sylvanas soften up that keep a little bit, as they didn't really need her to be able to take down this boss and grab it real quick. The rotation could have maybe gotten to this top lane in time to be able to get the boss down, but they elect instead to just go clear up the other lanes, grab their bruisers, and play it a little bit safe for now. But yet another turn-in is going to be achieved here by the East Coast Feeders in accordance with this boss. This could end up being a snowball job here that Degeneration X might not be able to come back from.
No, we'll see how they're going to play it, but this is providing an immense amount of pressure on this top area of the keep. And we are going to see the Keg come out, pushing back to Sonya. Sonya not taking a whole lot of damage from that. But we are going to see Ancestral coming out on Sonya.
Yeah, a great Ancestral coming out, but the Wandering Keg not as effective as they'd like. Meanwhile, Degeneration X with their own 16 talents starting to push back here. They are going to take Chen out, and they're going to push right past this boss and right past this Web Weaver. A huge team fight breaking out, as they do also pick up Sylvanas and Raynor with these resets from Li Ming. Sonya still on the chase, but ultimately they're going to have to get back here and start defending against these structures. They've got the boss and the Web Weaver in top, pushing onto the core now.
Right. So they're going to have to get out and try to deal with these this boss and Web Weavers, and I don't know if Sonya's going to be enough to take all that down without having considerable damage to the core.
Yeah, we are going to see a little bit of damage to the core. Not too bad. We do see the response from Vala. We see Johanna get back there and prioritize clearing that up. And the bottom Web Weaver is not going to get too much work done. She'll get a little bit of damage to this front wall. They'll actually take out the gate, but not the towers before this goes down. So overall, you know, a pretty good response. An immense amount of pressure coming out on Degeneration X, but they don't get rattled. They realize that the only real way to defend that was to push beyond the boss and beyond the Web Weaver and win the team fight, giving them enough time to go clean up all these and keep their structures healthy.
Yes, and it was like you said, I'm going to tip my hat to them, because I thought they may not have been able to get out of that, but they did a real nice job of, like you said, moving past that Hyperion and taking the fight to the back line of East Coast Feeders.
Meanwhile, we are going to see yet another fight break out here. Neither team owning enough gems at the moment to really get a turn in, but both teams prioritizing just staying together, trying not to get picked. We'll probably see both of these teams start to flow through the lanes together, getting XP, trying to build to 20. A little bit of an advantage in that for East Coast Feeders, but the lanes also have a little bit more clearing out to do for Degeneration X, so an opportunity for them to catch up. We will see Johanna go in and try and get an advantage here on Raynor, but the response from the Wandering Keg is going to peel them off, and we are going to see an engagement here in the mid. The Maw coming out is going to catch one of the members of Degeneration X, and a huge burst damage coming out from Vala and Rain of Vengeance. And Sylvanas is going to escape with her life just barely. Li Ming will go down. Yet another full team wipe for East Coast Feeders.
Yep, the East Coast Feeders came around from that little crevice there in between the mid and bottom lane, and we're just able to push right into them with that hair.
And this is going to be game, Plague.
This is going to be game. Absolutely.
A very smart rotation. 3 members of East Coast Feeders are going to rotate to the top. They are going to be joined by Zagara with 20 seconds before Johanna even comes up. This is the game.
It is, and I'm going to call it right here. There it is.
A very impressive display here from East Coast Feeders. I'll tell you, they knew exactly what they wanted to do on this map. They controlled most of the game, And ultimately, they won the team fights. They were able to dominate the game when it mattered, when those team fights came out. A very brilliant move at the end there by Chen. I gotta give the MVP to him for that last play. You know, we saw pretty good play coming out of their team for most of the time, but a big overextension there by Johanna trying to catch Raynor out. She thought she had something there, but as soon as we saw Johanna go in there, throw the shield and lock down Raynor, Chen with a very, very quick response to Wandering Keg and push the members of D-Generation X away long enough for them to reset, re-engage, and end up getting a full team wipe off of that.
They did, and like you said, I think the MVP is going to have to go to Chen, but I really do like the Maw. The timings of the Maw is coming out from Zagara, trying to take away any advantage of a surprise or a counter push that D-Generation X was going to plan with a nicely timed Maw at least 3 or 4 times. So congratulations to both of them. Looking at the kill count, we got 14 kills going to the East Side Feeders, along with 6 kills going to D-Generation X. Clearly a dominated match by the D-Generation X. By East Coast Feeders. D-Generation X did have the early game a little bit, but coming into the mid and late game, it was all East Coast Feeders.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us, guys. Thanks for sticking with us and being patient as we swapped over to the other one. We'll try and figure out what's going on the other channel. But for now, let's go ahead and we'll throw up our shameless self-promotions here. This is Jason bringing this match to you. You guys can catch us on this Twitch channel, as well as Plague on his channel when he's casting. We'll be doing it about 50-50 that way. And you can also catch our matches on YouTube. I've put up both our YouTube pages up there. Probably easier if you just search by your names. We usually put these matches up an hour or two after they happen. They end up getting up on YouTube. And then you can always check me out on Facebook. We'll be updating that page and throwing up all our new videos and all that cool stuff very, very soon. So thank you very much for joining us, guys. And Plague, thanks for casting this match with me, as always.
Absolutely, and thank you for helping me out there when I had some issues with the...
Yeah, anytime. We'll be coming back in about 15-20 minutes here with yet another match. We've got another one coming up at 8:30, so I hope you guys will join us for that too. Thanks, guys.
Okay.